live because I can just, you know, free talk and hang out with y'all. Okay, so y'all know we just finished the Beauty and the Beast channel message on live. That was so much fun. So I mentioned to y'all that Spirit gave me to start a new series. Yeah, we just move as Spirit move. The new series is gonna be What's Blocking You. This can be pertaining to love, you know, whatever you're manifesting. Everything has just been kind of happening in waves. The first wave was messages was all about divine inheritance, you being in alignment to receive your divine inheritance. Then it was all about love and divine unions. Then it was about breaking the curses, okay, off of divine masculines and off of your bloodline, off of yourself. Now, what Spirit, and that was all in Supernatural September, which was amazing. Now, what Spirit is giving me is to do a What's Blocking You series. And I also received from Spirit to create a few communities for you all. One being breaking the karmic loops so you can set yourself free to manifest. Another one is to create a community for the divine feminines, navigating to how to navigate the twin flame journey. Okay. So this is exciting, y'all. So we're gonna get into a fun energy read right now. This is a what's blocking you, okay? The first card came out is the Nine of Swords. So this is the energy of somebody that is in their head, experiencing some insomnia, anxiety, stress, worry, fear, depression, some doubt about something. This was followed by the Ten of Pentacles. So this is regarding your wealth and your abundance, okay? Financial security, long-term success, and even family. Then that was followed by the Three of Swords. This is about heartbreak. Okay. So this is a what's blocking you message. Then you had the Five of Swords came out. Conflict, disagreements. That's followed by the Star. Okay. Star is your renewal energy, your faith. And then that's followed by the Devil. The Devil represents your shadow self. Okay. It can also represent your ego, addictions, and any destructive behaviors. The Queen of Cups is out here. Queen of Cups is all about compassion, nurturing. Maybe somebody was not nurtured by a motherly figure, and you may be still holding on to some heartbreak from that. And that's followed by the Death card. So this is endings and transformations. Transitioning in the ending of a cycle. Betrayal is also out here. Betrayal is followed by dating. So somebody could have experienced heartbreak. We had the Three of Swords. So somebody could have experienced heartbreak in dating, betrayal in a marriage, because divorce is out here, infidelity, romance, love. So the what's blocking you, take it as it resonates. This is a general collective message. Collective messages, time is fluid. It can be past, present, or future energy. So what's blocking you in regarding to whatever it is that you are calling in, whatever you're manifesting next into your life, or now, now. Everything is in the energy of now. So this is an energy, a frequency, a vibration, even if you are not conscious to it. That's why the Devil is out here. Devil is a shadow. This also relates to our subconscious. So you may not be actively thinking about this heartbreak, but it can still be vibrating subconsciously, okay? You could still be holding on energetically to some type of betrayal energy, around your love life, okay? It does you no good to say, I don't want love, forget love, when your heart really desire it. The energy does not lie, okay? You have to check yourself out here, and that's followed by anger management. So somebody could be feeling angry as it relates to love, and you need to check yourself. So that's why this is here. Check yourself, what's blocking you, because that's why, I love a shadow. That's why it's called Sacred Shadows, for us to face the devil energy. The devil is Capricorn energy. I am a Capricorn, okay? But this is the shadow self. I embody this card, okay? I embody this devil energy. It's just to face what is hidden, to face the darkness, bring it to the light, illuminate it. I don't tell the future down, Beetle. So, um, lack of empathy is out here. Unable to truly understand others, leading to conflicts and a lack of compassion. So this is giving an energy of heartbreak. Whether you want a relationship or a person or not, it's still something that can block your manifestations. Because even if you're manifesting money, okay, and wealth, it still operates, it's an energy, okay? And you can block your manifestations, you can block your energetic flow when you have a resonating lower frequency, okay? Allowing that compassion to flow, because it can be a block to your abundance, your wealth, your financial security. You have the koi out here, which is about good fortune, perseverance, mysterious shift out here. Personal growth can happen quickly and in ways you may not initially understand. This reminds me of what it's like walking through the shadows, doing your shadow work, doing your energetic work, because everything is energy. So when you do surrender to the divine to help you navigate your blocks and you're trying to manifest, it's all energy. It's all energy. And the divine can shift you in mysterious ways. Yeah. Somebody may be feeling like you're running out of time with the run and timing. I'm picking up on the energy of somebody feeling like they are running out of time. Y'all talking about shadow work, Duncan? Hugh trying to help Duncan out? Yeah, follow the pain. So to do shadow work, it is to follow the pain. Absolutely. That's the easiest way to do it. It's like facing the pain, facing the heartbreak, okay? Facing the darkness, the thing that hurts, face it, okay? So y'all, it's layers to this. It's so many layers. It's not an overnight journey, but energy, a shift can happen mysteriously and quickly, okay? So let's just say, let's bring it to the current. So let's say there is a block in your manifestations, whether it's money, your creativity, or love, okay? And you may put people at a distance because you've been hurt before, right? So it's facing the shadow of and acknowledging what your desire is, because you're not happy anyway. If you are blocked off from your true desire, it doesn't help you to oppress it down, okay? That's just going to cause disease in the body, okay? That also relates to your 7 chakras, okay? When you oppress your true self, your shadow, when you oppress your true self, your shadow, it causes dis-ease in your body. That's where you get the depression, the anxiety, the fear, the worry, the overthinking, okay? It can also show up in physical ailments in your body. Disease. If y'all go research the 7 chakras do correlate with physical diseases that are in the body. It's trapped energy. So when we experience some type of trauma along our journey, that is trapped energy that we have not released. Okay? So releasing it could first look like, okay, acknowledging that what you truly do desire. Acknowledging, following your bliss. What is it that will make you feel happy, okay, and alive? What's your bliss? What does that thing look like? But it may be something that is taboo, that's forbidden, that you are told that you can't have. That some others around you may try to put you to shame about the thing that is your shadow that you love, right? So, okay, I know I desire this thing, but I feel shame. I feel like I gotta hide it. I'm suppressing what it is I truly want and desire. Why am I suppressing that? Okay, who is it around me that is putting these ideas in my head? Is it society? Is it the people around me? Is it family? Is it friends? Okay, then well, you know, looking at examining the thoughts and ideas that you have. Well, where did that come from? Are these thoughts and ideas my own, or do they belong to others? Do I really feel that way about that thing, or is that how everybody else around me feels, and I'm adopting other people's beliefs? Okay, so then it can go even deeper to, say you have a particular, like there's a lot of men right here, so I'm gonna talk to the men. So say you have a particular idea about women, okay, and you get into the root of that. Maybe it was something you experienced in your childhood that gave you this idea about women. That's really not even true, because it can't be true, because you have not met every single woman in the world. And please don't get me started with y'all listening to these social media bots about relationships. You have to get out there and meet real people in the field. And remember, everything is a vibrational match. So if you are having a particular repetitive experience with women or men, whoever's listening, that is because you are on that vibrational frequency. Remember, you are always right. Whatever you believe, you are always right. And the universe will always prove to you that you are right in whatever you believe. That's what law of attraction is. The universe will bring more to you based on what you believe. So if you believe that all women are this negative kind of way, of course that's what you're going to see on your timeline all day. Of course that's what you're going to experience in women, because that's how you see them. So your brain is already conditioned to see that. You're not going to see anything else. Okay? If you have an idea about your money and your wealth, okay? The man always trying to keep you down, or this, that, and other. You can't manifest. Or if it ain't one thing, it's another. You're going to keep experiencing that. Everything is energy. Everything is energy. So shadow work literally is calling you to face the darkness of your soul, face the pain. Be honest with yourself about what it is that you want to create. What is the life that you truly desire? Be honest with yourself. And I'm not talking about no, like, what's trending or fake manifestations. The divine knows what's really for you, what you truly desire. The divine knows what's your true desires and what's other people's desires. I'll use myself for an example. At one point I had these things that I said I wanted, as my goals and things I wanted to accomplish and do, but it was not true to me. It was just sounded good based on society, based on the ideas and goals that I should want to have, what I should want to pursue. Okay? But it was not true to what I really wanted, what I really cared about. So it is acknowledging that difference. Okay? Greetings, BMF. I love Carl Jung. Yeah, the shadow work and the archetypes. Yes. Carl Jung. Y'all check out Carl Jung, spelled Young spelled with a J. BMF put it down there in the comments for y'all. Yes, he was a genius. Okay, y'all be knowing y'all stuff over here. I know that's right. Okay. But that is what we came here to do, literally, and not getting so caught up in the matrix and material stuff and abundance, but to do our shadow work. When you do your shadow work, it sheds so much of stuff that really doesn't matter, stuff that we literally keep ourselves up about, Stuff that we literally stress ourselves out about, causing dis-ease in our body about. When you do your shadow work, that stuff don't even matter. The stuff that we worry about, you realize it wasn't even important. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I think about all that stuff in the past, was just a journey for me to shed the things that did not matter, things that was not true to my authenticity. What I do now does not cost me anything. Okay? I wake up when I want, I move how I want to move, when I want to move. Versus when I was running myself raggedy, going out there, trying to fill voids in relationships. That came with doing shadow work. Trying to pursue, careers or financial goals. But I learned that that was not success to me. And that's another thing, like, you define success for you. Success is not what society says. Financial freedom is, what is financial freedom to you? Financial freedom for you may not be having millions and millions of dollars and having to answer to a whole lot of people and can't be free to do what you want to do when you want to do it. Financial freedom to you may be having, a simple home, right? With a limited amount of bills, right? Having you a garden in the back. Being able to wake up when you want. What is success for you? Okay? You have the fusion card out here. Align, openness, harmonize, and collaboration. Aligning with the divine. Harmonizing within yourself. Y'all, that's all it's about. When you face this devil energy. See, I'm the Capricorn, is the devil card, because we run to the devil. Like, we not scared to go in the darkness. A lot of people are afraid to face their own shadow. They want to hide it, suppress it. They're not willing to die to ego, die to pride, so they can literally be reborn again. And you can paint a new life, a new version of yourself, one that is very loving and abundant, very generous and overflowing in love and abundance. But that is very challenging for a lot of people to do. Yeah, shadow work is not easy, and it is an ongoing process. It's an ongoing process. It's not something like you do it one time and you get a ribbon. It is a ongoing journey. This memories card is standing out to me. It says old acquaintances, old debts, recollections, and prejudices. So it is releasing that too. I'm being reminded I'm feeling an energy of like somebody that is replaying painful memories. Thank you, Spirit. Somebody is blocked because you are holding on to old memories. It could be from your childhood or something that happened to you in the past that you have not let go. I'm getting the energy of somebody rehearsing something in their mind over and over again. And it's keeping you blocked and stuck from what it is that you are wanting to call in and manifest in your life. For some of you, it could even be some gossip, some slander, some rumors. With the betrayal card out here, you had some sneaky, friends, family members that were around you, and it's caused you to be guarded and not trust. It's caused you to be guarded and not trust, and wanting to protect your heart. I'm getting, it's a balance. It's a balance when it comes to your heart. The Queen of Cups is out here, so having compassion and having an open heart to flow with the generous card. Give with an open heart, offer without expectation, unconditional love. But it's a balance to where you don't be like a fool, You have some limits and layers depending on who it is. But operating from a place of love. We talked about love being the highest frequency, and that is a frequency that is very difficult for many to reach because of past conflicts, because of past betrayals, because of being around this trickery, backstabbing energy, competition energy. People want to constantly put you in competition and fighting. It can be hard to open up to a place of love. And then you have the Nine of Wands. It takes a lot of courage, followed by the Temperance card. It takes a lot of courage to balance and come into balance and harmony within yourself. With the Strength card, what did I say? I don't know what you talking about, Duncan. Hugh, you said you find it easy to acknowledge but hard to integrate. You find it hard to integrate your shadow. You find it easy to acknowledge but hard to integrate. So, are you following your bliss? How are you? I slid back into autopilot in the moment. Oh, yeah. Well, that's going to take some effort to be intentional to come out of. Yeah. That is true. Like anytime we are trying to break a barrier to go into our next level of who we are, I think about like this channel. I started a year ago, knowing that, it was a vision I had to do it at some point. I got overwhelmed. I posted for like 3 days, 16 videos, and I just stopped for almost a year. I just came back in September, and ironically enough, I posted for 21 days straight in September. I posted 100 videos, over 100 videos in September, but 21 days straight before I took a break. And they say it's 21 days to break a habit. And literally it just got to a point where I was like about to burst. Like it was something in me. I knew I had to do something different. I was ready to do something different. And you just show up in it. You just show up in it. But yeah, that was my experience with starting this channel. Like I just started doing it. And it is a challenge because you can slip back into autopilot. Another example of me integrating my shadow, I'm gonna tell y'all my business. Another part of my shadow was like, so I grew up a Christian, and I grew up a Christian, but I'll tell y'all, I was a banker by day, but I was a stripper at night. Okay, I had a young son. I had to do what I had to do. Okay, but let me tell y'all, with me being a stripper, I needed money, but dancing was something that I loved to do. It was like something, it was literally my bliss. I loved to dance. And when I danced, it was a no-brainer because I was like, oh my God, I could do something I love to do and make money. I was not thinking about the shame of it. I was not thinking about, oh, how's it going to look to anybody? Now, I didn't tell nobody just because, that was my business, but I wasn't thinking about the shame. I was literally just going in my bliss. I'm like, oh, I can dance. What's so funny about it, during that time, I was paying money every month to go to a dance studio. So I was dancing like regularly. When I get off of work, I would go dance at a studio for fun that I was paying to go dance. And then during this time too, I'm like, I need some money. I got to make some moves, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking about how can I make some money? And I'm like, I don't have time to work another job. I can't trade dollars for hours. I don't have time for that. And I already had a business I was trying to work out, and that wasn't really moving. And I'm like, man, I need some money like now, like quick. And dancing just dropped, and I was excited. And what's funny about that is it wasn't until like after I danced, right, and made my money, and I kind of was getting out of it, that I felt the shame, the shadow. It wasn't until after I danced that I felt shameful. Like, oh my God, how can God use me now? I was a dancer. It's so shameful. Right? So fast forward, I struggled with that for years. I struggled with that for years, feeling like I was ashamed and I couldn't be used for God by God. Because I always knew I had a higher calling to help people, but I feel like I couldn't be used. And so, talking about integrating the shadow. So fast forward, I was like feeling like this nudge to like kind of recreate my stripper days because I had fun, y'all. That was like the most fun I ever had. It was so much fun. Like I liked the banking, and I was getting promoted and climbing the ranks as much as I could without a degree in banking, and that was cool. But I had fun like in that world of being a dancer. And so some years passed, and I'm thinking about like how can I kind of recreate that? Because I'm just sitting thinking about what can I do to make money and do something that I enjoy, right? And OnlyFans came up. So I was like, well, let me look at OnlyFans. And so I integrated my shadow with accepting that that was a part of me and not to suppress it, not to be ashamed of it, to let my shadow live and be free here in this devil energy. And it set me free and started to silence everybody else's opinions about it. Because who's to say what God's prophet will look like? Who's to say that you can't? Y'all know back in the ancient times, sex was like sacred. It's like in today's society, they have made sex to be shameful when it's not. It's actually very freeing. It's actually very healing. Who sung the song about it, y'all? Was it Al Green? Sexual healing. It was healing. It was a healing energy. So that's my story and an example about integrating the shadow. And y'all, when I did that, it was so powerful. When I integrated this devil energy in me, when I integrated with my shadow, I ascended to another level. You ascend to another level of freedom. You ascend to a level of this Nine of Cups energy, baby. This fulfillment, this content energy, this wish come true energy that can be blocked when you are literally blocking and betraying yourself. When you suppress who you truly are, when you suppress your shadow, when you suppress your truest desires, that is a sin. You are betraying your own self. You're betraying yourself. So you find ways. Look at this. Mousetrap is out here. Mousetrap. Yeah. You betray yourself. And then you're in this energy. Well, we saw the Nine of Swords. You're in this energy of anxiety, can't sleep, depressed, worry, fear, doubt because you're not being true to who you are. It's so freeing to face this death energy. 13 is number of transformation. It's so freeing to not give a fuck no more. I've said that before. And be true to you. And I've talked about this before. We do live in split reality. We live here in the 3D, but we also live in other multiple dimensions, y'all. And we can call in our heaven on earth through other multiple dimensions that we also live in. Past, present, future, now. Time is fluid. You can be living in the past by you constantly rehearsing the past and what didn't work and who left and who betrayed you over and over. You're bringing the past into your now current energy because you keep reliving the past. The past is gone. Okay. Then you also can keep yourself stuck by constantly thinking about the future, worrying about the future, worrying about your finances, worrying about that's funny, worrying about your finances, which can be like the future, because how are you gonna pay for things, blah blah blah, and then worrying about the past with that Three of Swords, that heartbreak energy. Yeah, heartbreak represents the past because it already happened. If you're heartbroken, it already happened. So in either way, you're worrying about the past, you're stuck, and bringing that energy into the now. You're worrying about the future and bringing that worry energy of lack into your present now energy. Everything is the now. You create in the now. It is so important for you to keep your vibration high. Thank y'all for the hearts, for the taps. It's so important for you to keep your energy high no matter what. because that is how you transform. If I could tell y'all my life story, you would not believe. I know what I'm talking about. I am a master alchemist, a master manifester. Yeah. Everything is in the energy of now. So if you slip back into your old ways on autopilot, so that is a block. Autopilot, being an autopilot is dormant energy. It's dormant. We are always like in our sacral chakra energy is our creative life force. That's our sexual energy is connected to sex and our emotions. Okay, that's our creative life force energy. So we are to be creating, being in the now and the present of creating, following your sacral chakra is your pleasure, following your pleasure so that you can create. So if you're doing something on autopilot, you're not creating. Okay, some people even say you're either creating or you're dying. But if you are connecting with your spiritual team and your guides, they will push you, they will nudge you. You know, because anything I do connect with my spiritual team. And like I said, when I started this channel, I just was about to burst. Like, I got to start this channel now. It was September the 1st, and I was doom scrolling. I was on autopilot. I was doom scrolling on YouTube, listening to readings. And I just hit this burst like, I'm supposed to be doing that. And I just started recording. And that's the thing, too, about creating and living in your bliss and having faith. You don't know what it's going to look like. You don't know what it's going to look like. And you're not supposed to. That's why it's called faith. And you are rewarded when you learn how to walk in faith. Mm-hmm. Yep. The people will come along your journey who's meant for you when you take that leap of faith. Hey, Jose. You really a fun, happy, energetic, and enthusiastic person? That's good because you're keeping your energy high. When we talk about high frequency and low frequency, high frequency is that enthusiasm, that happy, fun, energetic, that joy, that peace, that love, that forgiveness. Forgiveness does not mean you have to deal with that person anymore. It's just letting it go. And forgiveness does not require you to have a conversation with that person. You can forgive somebody right here, right now. Like, you know what? So and so did me wrong. They have to do me like that. I was good to that person. They have to do me like that. But when y'all realize that how people treat you has more to do with them. It has nothing to do with you. How people treat you is their own inner demons that they project, and they treat others poorly. It has nothing to do with you. So that's why you shouldn't own any of that. Think about it. Somebody's treating you poorly. That's their energy, not yours. So why would I receive that? Why would I take that on? That's not my energy. That's your energy. That's their energy. Keep it over there. Like, oh, they ain't got nothing to do with me. You treat me like that because that's a reflection of yourself. That's a reflection of things they need to work on. They own trauma, they own hurt, they own pain that they trying to project onto me, and I don't receive it. There's nothing to do with me. And then also, you can alchemize the negative energy. So say somebody do something to you. Hey, Dreamweaver, thank you. You say, truth, spot on. You can alchemize the energy. Say somebody do something to hurt you, and it does cause you pain. It makes you cry. Ooh, this is powerful, y'all. This is my favorite right here. Ooh, this is my favorite. I started noticing a pattern that whenever people wronged me, my life got better because I would alchemize that energy. When they say what don't kill you make you stronger, that is actually energy work, y'all. That's real life energy work. It's energy. It's energy. It's alchemizing the energy. Alchemizing, taking something that was a negative and make it a positive. Exactly. Jose said, "Why would I treat them the same way as they did to me? I'm not trying to be like them. I like being me." Exactly. Dreamweaver, you are a spiritual alchemist. Yep. Exactly. But yeah, that's how I see it. It's like that's they raggedy energy. Like that ain't me. You know, uh, when I did, work at the jobs and things, and be like, dang, you always come in here smiling, so happy. They would love my, loving, joyful spirit, energetic spirit. Like, yeah, it's like even say it's not a person, say it's material things that you're going through, right? Something financial you're going through. Okay, what can I do about it? There's no point in me sitting up here being stressed with it, Nine of Swords at, being stressed in my head, can't sleep at night over material stuff. For what? When we're spiritual beings, when we're already taken care of in the higher realms. Spirit already knows what we have need of. And really, when you think about finance, a lot of stuff that we stress about is not even important. It'd be extra financial burden that we can create and put on ourselves. Is it the fundamentals, right? What are the fundamentals? What are the essentials? And it's like, literally, I'm hearing taking your joy back. Taking your joy back. Like, not being so caught up in this material world. But I love alchemizing energy. It is my favorite, y'all. But I mean, I've been attacked since I was a little one. I feel just like I've been all my life I had to fight. But it got to a point, it was like a pattern. Like, they say, people say, oh, God don't play about me. And it's like, yeah, I knew that, but like, it was like the attacks was turning up, y'all. And I always had a relationship with God. I don't really call on God anymore. I say source now, or spirit, or, great mother, cosmic mother. But that's just been along the journey. But back then, I used to call on God. And it was like, every time I would be attacked, like, I would just take that. You know what? Because when I was more of a Christian, I used to always say the scripture about count it all joy. That was alchemy, y'all. I didn't know it back then. I didn't know about the spiritual community until later on in my journey. But that was alchemy. When I say count it all joy, as a Christian, I really would live that. So when I would go through things, I would count it all joy. And I would say, I know God's working everything together for my good. I used to really believe that. But that is the energy. It's the code of alchemists, alchemizing the energy. That means that no matter what's going on, what I'm facing, who's coming at me, who's attacking me, blah, 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 I alchemize that energy. I take it to the higher power, higher source, and I am going to maintain my energy of peace, of love, of joy. And that's how that joy is like abundant, overflowing. Mm-hmm. Dreamy said, you was just thinking this yesterday. Thank you, chosen one. You say your voice is peaceful. Thank you. I do hear people tell me that, oh, I should have done this instead of that. I don't do that. I look at it like a lesson. Yeah, exactly. I'm telling you, look at it like a lesson. Thank y'all for the hearts. You have a diamond aura. Thank you. Leroy, what you talking about? Okay, Hugh is here. Hugh said, I noticed an ex-friend suppress his vulnerability. It led to him getting angry at anyone that showed vulnerability. Yep. It was really him being angry at that part of himself he couldn't face. Yes, y'all. That is so deep. Thank you, Hugh, for sharing that. A moment for Hugh and that ex-friend that was suppressing that energy. Thank you for sharing that message. That's why y'all be seeing me breathe on here, because I be doing my breath work. Listen, we're going to breathe it out. We're not going to keep that trauma, negative energy trapped in our bodies. No, we're not. Not over here. Not these chosen ones. Ain't that right, chosen one? Facts. We are not keeping that energy stored and trapped in our bodies. Let me tell y'all a story. So, as I started tapping more into the spiritual community, I had my first psychic reading. This was in 2020. I had my first psychic reading. Now, y'all remember I was a Christian. You ain't supposed to do psychic readings stuff. They say that stuff is evil, but I didn't care because I was like, man, I was already into like chakras and stuff. For sure, my love. Thank you. I was already into like chakras and stuff like that. And I used to listen to chakra sounds at night, and it was actually like really helping me. So I'm like, man, it's got to be something more to this. They telling us they don't want us to do that, whatever. So I had my first reading. Anyway, the lady gave me a reading. It was beautiful, and she mentioned about me doing a chakra healing. So I went and had a Reiki healing, y'all. It was so beautiful. It changed my life for real. 2020. I had a Reiki healing, and so with the Reiki healing, she told me to kind of like, like kind of set my intentions for like what areas I knew I wanted to work on. And at the time it was like my heart chakra and my throat chakra that I knew of. And yeah, it was so beautiful because back to what Hugh was saying, you know, we don't realize how literally energy is trapped in our bodies. And that's what the Reiki healing is about, is releasing those blockages. And at this time too, I'm remembering I all of a sudden I was having like crazy pain in my feet. Like it was like I would be laying down and my feet would just ache so bad. That's part of our root chakra as well. Another thing with our bowels, okay? Our sacral chakra when it came to sex. Like, y'all, this stuff is so deep. There's so many layers. But she gave me the Reiki healing, and y'all, I cried during it. She walked me through, through some things that she asked me, and she asked me about releasing it. And I remember my mother and my father came up, and she asked me, was I ready to release it? And I said I can't. And she said, why not? And I said, because I don't want to make them look bad, right? Ooh, I'm getting chills. It just reminds me of like how there's so many layers to suppress trauma, and we don't even realize that we walk around with this energy stored in our bodies. And taking it back to our parents, like, because to acknowledge certain things, to heal and let it go, we have to acknowledge that it happened, that somebody violated us or wronged us in some kind of way, abused us in some kind of way, so that we can release it. And so we was going through the exercise. She asked me again if I'm ready to release it, and I said yeah. But yeah, I could feel energy moving, balls of energy moving through my body. That stuff is so real. Energy does get trapped in our body, and it can cause, not only show up in our relationships and our behavior, show issues, but it can show as physical ailments as well. Let's see. Chosen One said, my ex did death magic on my life, but I'm a natural healer. Earth angel, it backfired horribly. I don't know what exactly happened, but I'm anointed by God. Exactly. Yeah, Chosen One said, you are energy. We are energy. Exactly. Yes. I'm telling y'all, I'm a natural healer. I love that. Earth angel, I love it. Yeah, and that backfire would be brutal. I did a reading, I did a few readings last week that was coming through about people doing death magic, doing spell work, putting earth angels on an altar. Listen, putting a healer on an altar. You cannot put an earth angel, a healer, on an altar. Okay, an angel in human form, exactly. And that's what I was saying earlier, Chosen One. Like, people don't know what an angel look like. Like, literally, like, you are light. You are an angel in human form, walking amongst this earth, and that light can disturb some forces. And these people, out of jealousy, whatever, want to attack and do spell work. It's crazy. It's crazy. And you know what? I was talking about that last week on the reading. Was that what I had to learn on my journey? I was more like in the love and light side of things. So like I was always like giving people the benefit of the doubt, loving them anyway. And it's like Spirit had to show me like, yeah, you can love them, but from over there, like you need to get away from these people. And what I learned along my journey was like sometimes Spirit, first of all, Spirit, God does not play about you. God does not play about his angels. But these people, their backfire may be delayed when we're still hanging around these people, right? And they're trying to like play in our energy, and we just, giving them grace, being around them still because that's family or whatever, you know, because that's a long time friend. I know that was me, you know, especially with family. And it was very painful, but I realized how necessary it was to distance myself, even from family. Even from family. It wasn't an issue with friends, but it was family. It was family because, you know, that's the one thing in this society that we are shamed for. If we cut off our family, if we cut off our, you know, our parents. But if your parent is, I don't know why I'm hearing your parent is doing death magic and spell work on you. Your parent is really not your parent. Your parent is being controlled by an entity. Your parent can be being controlled by a dark entity. That is not your mama. That is a entity working through them in disguise as family. And that's what I learned on my journey. And when I understood and I realized how my life got better, I didn't have as much anxiety. Oh, yeah, I was having a period. This was probably about 2 years ago. Yeah, I was getting psychic attacks, spiritual attacks. I was having nightmares. I never was the type to really have nightmares like that. And that's why I say God will show us to prepare us and help build our armor for this journey. I didn't really, when I was more of a Christian, I didn't really believe in all, you know, the witchcraft and all that kind of stuff. I didn't really believe in it like that. You know, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Yeah, they don't prosper, but you still around these people. They playing in your energy, and they can cause some delays and things. And when you do wake up to it and pull your energy away from these people, that backfire be brutal. Yep, people underestimate you your whole life. Yeah, I know. Me too. It's crazy. That backfire be brutal. Chosen one, when underestimate you, it also means you have an advantage. Ooh, Jose, yes. Yes. That is literally what I say all the time. I love being underestimated. Ooh, I love it. I love it, y'all. I really do. I'm like, that is my secret weapon. I love it. They don't see me coming. Because, like we said, people don't know what angels look like. They think an angel just looks like, you know, a cute little baby with some wings, or, you know, a human looking person with wings. That's the thing an angel look like, gonna come from the sky. But angels are walking amongst us every day. Very powerful. But I know along my journey, I feel like I was always protected, but I feel like I became more powerful once I really understood my power, right? It's like you being a powerful being all this time and you being protected. Your angels and God is protecting you, but you really become a whole nother force when you tap in and understand your power. Very talented. I'm into music, art, and a lot more. I can see that, chosen one. Wow, then shock and awe. What? Speak softly and carry a big stick. That is so funny, Hugh. Thank y'all for the hearts. Yes, speak softly and carry a big stick. That is so funny. I love that. For real. A big stick. A big stick. They be like, what? I'm telling you, knock their head off. They don't know what happened. Yeah, that is so funny. That is too funny. Well, I hope y'all subscribe. Chosen One, Jose Alvarez, and Hugh. I enjoyed this live and talking with y'all. I hope y'all subscribe and I can see y'all again. Sweat the dangerous. That is too funny. That is too funny. So yeah, I was just doing a live energy check-in. Thank you, Jose. I'm gonna go subscribe to y'all channels too. Wait, let me. Okay, I'm gonna remember so I can go find y'all. But yes, y'all. So I'm gonna wrap this one up, and I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Y'all have a beautiful night, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.